Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hope everybody's having a fabulous day. Chris Gartsky here. I'm coming to you live from my minivan. Getting ready to pick up the kids, but I wanted to be able to share a story with all of you from my friend Jill down in Florida. So she's going to be joining us in a little bit. Looks like Jill's watching. We're going to try to add her. Take too long. Come on, Jill. You guys wouldn't believe how beautiful it is here in Richfield, Wisconsin. Last week we had 90s, 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 and today 70. And it's amazing.
Hi.
Hi. It looks like we're not getting dizzy today.
You're not getting what?
We're not getting dizzy with having to turn phones.
No, it works. This is my first live experience with someone else. So I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not even sure how to connect, but I guess we'll find out, right?
Yeah.
So here we are.
That's all we got to do is try.
Yep.
For sure.
Well, thank you for having me on today. I don't know what you've said so far.
No, I came on a little early, wanted to have time to get you on and give everybody else a chance to catch on if they're around. I know it's school pickup time, and that's why I'm in my minivan. That's why I was telling everybody.
You know, it's funny. I was worried about the same thing. We got caught in a little bit of traffic running an errand, and I was like, oh my goodness, I might be doing this live in my van, but hey, whatever works.
Thing to do. It is. So, just a reminder to everybody, I like to do these live videos, and Jill, I'm really grateful that you're able to join me today. I just want to paint a picture for everybody about this amazing product, this amazing company, and I don't say those words lightly. I really believe in what these things can do for people, and I believe it's something that everybody should be putting in their body. It's just that amazing. And so I just want for you to maybe paint a picture for everybody. Where were you in your life, in your health, in your personal life before Zjia? Maybe tell everybody why Zjia? Why did you decide to give it a try? And why, where are you now? How has life improved? How has it impacted you and your family?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much again for having me on. And I'm excited to see you and your journey. And the cool thing is, this is like the first time that we're meeting. We've never met in person. So this is like, oh my gosh, we get to meet, probably 1,400 miles away from one another right here on Facebook Live just because of, Zjia and his team. So it's pretty cool.
It is really cool. So excited.
Yeah. My story, oh my goodness. So it's been a pretty good journey. And when I was younger, I was bebopping along through life and having some fun, just being a kid. I always struggled with stomach issues, and I was sick a lot, just colds and viruses and sinus infections. And so those are the main things that bothered me. But other than that, life was pretty good. I kind of learned to deal with those stomach issues and the colds and so forth. I was on antibiotics all the time. So when I got to, I guess about my mid-20s, I started developing issues that I didn't even know what was going on. Just worse stomach issues. I started developing allergies both to foods and environmental animals, things like that. I would break out in hives all the time. Anxiety was something I had never experienced, like never. The only thing I was afraid of were dogs, because I got attacked by a dog. That was like a reason to have a fear, right?
Yeah, but big reason.
Yeah, I had never had anxiety before, and somewhere along, I guess it was about 27, 28, I had like life-altering anxiety, and I didn't know what was going on. So in any case, multiple things, right? I ended up developing some breathing issues, just bad stuff. And my husband and I had gotten married, and we wanted to have a child, and things weren't working out with that. My body was kind of saying no. I ended up having a surgery, so I was able to get pregnant, and we did have our son. But it was not a good journey for us. Basically, from the time that we got married until about 4 years ago, I struggled a lot. I went to the doctor multiple times. They weren't really sure what was going on, so it was just medication after medication to treat symptoms. And despite the medications, the symptoms were still just getting worse. And it got to a point where my son was about 4 or 5, and I ended up in the hospital for about a week with a pretty good sickness. And we weren't too sure that I was going to come out of it. Luckily I did, obviously I'm here. But it was
grateful for that.
yeah, it was a rough time, but I was still doing life the whole entire time, just now at a slower pace. And I struggled. I missed work a lot, like a lot. I'm so thankful for the job that I had at the time, because they should have fired me based on my attendance record, to be honest. But they knew it was up. They knew that I was really doing my best, and cut me a little bit of a break. But during all this time, after I got a little bit better from the hospital issue, I was still continuing life, coaching soccer, things like that. And I met a friend, Tony Paps. You know of Tony.
I've met Tony many times.
Yep. So this is all Tony's fault. Each of my life is Tony's fault. But in any case, I was coaching his son and my son in soccer, and he'd seen some of my struggles that I'd put on Facebook, just like, here we go again to the doctor, what have you. And he's like, hey, listen, he sent me a message. He's like, hey, listen, I'm bringing you something to practice tonight. I just want you to check it out. And I thought, what the heck is he talking about, So he shows up to practice with just like an article and these 2 little green packets of Miracle, right here. Mm-hmm. But he gave me some samples, and I said, what is this? He's like, just check it out, try it, see what you think. Well, I didn't try it. I was like, what is this stuff? I had been on lots of supplements in addition to medications, and I thought, okay, this is not any different. There's no way this is going to help. So I stubbornly never took it, and he just kept asking me like, hey, did you try it? And I thought, why is this guy so persistent on me checking this out? Well, it got to the point where my husband, he had no health issues that he felt. Like, he had things like high cholesterol and high triglycerides, which obviously are terrible, but he didn't feel them, if that makes sense. Right. So he's like, you know what, if you're not going to try this, I'm going to try it. So he actually started the Zjia, the nutrition, first, and started getting a little bit of results with mental clarity. And he's like, you know what, I think there's something to this. You might want to check it out. So I pretty much reluctantly said, all right, I'll try it. Well, it was one of those things where I almost didn't want it to work, just so I could say, hey, I told you so. But then I started noticing some changes. And the first thing, because the 2 biggest problems were my anxiety and my stomach. But since I was in pain all the time, that kind of brought the anxiety along, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. So the first thing I noticed was stomach, just relief with some of the pain. And as time went on, I noticed more and more. And so I thought, I am not, the only person out there that has something going on that they don't have a solution for. I need to tell some people. So I did some more, just meeting up with teammates and things like that, and started talking with friends, just, sharing a little bit. And it's actually been a really great thing that I decided to try it and decided to start sharing. But the cool part in this whole journey is that my son, we brought this into our lives when he was young. So he's got to watch all of this and participate in our daily routine with Zjia. It's helped him a lot with just focus and things like that at school. He doesn't seem to be bothered by his allergies anymore. He's had perfect attendance for several years, except for this year in Florida. There's a lot of fun things to do in Florida, so you might occasionally miss school.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but so that was the journey.
But not because he had to stay home, because he chose to stay home.
we said, hey, Grandma's coming to town, let's go to the airport and, go to Orlando and do some stuff. But so from the point when I started getting sick until now, like the health side, I feel so much better. But I think the bigger story, in addition to the health, is that I'm able to share things with other parents that, like me, I thought I knew everything, right? I'm a mom. I know everything. That's just the way we are. Mm-hmm. There's other parents out there that actually want to know more And so now it's not just about the nutrition, it's about educating on other aspects of health and life. And this team has brought leadership into our family, personal growth, things like that. I remember when I first got introduced to like the leadership side of Zjia, I thought personal growth, like what I'm not a good enough person. Like what's going on here? You know, I didn't understand what that was, but being a part of this team and being around folks that really want to grow themselves to help others has been tremendous. And because of the team is why we're in Florida. And I know that might not make sense to you, but so part of some of our goals that we had in life were to get to Florida, adopt, do things for people. And because my health was holding us back, I wasn't really able to proceed in that. And then also the mindset, you know, I had a small mind, if you will. I didn't really see growth in life. I didn't understanding that, you know, bettering yourself will help you share that with others and help them better themselves. So it's been a pretty big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
That is a big deal.
yeah, it is a big deal. So we actually start our adoption classes soon. And I'm like, thank goodness when I get to bring that child into our lives, I will get to introduce him or her to Zjia also and help them just, you know, be healthy and put the right things in their little body.
Oh, how wonderful. Well, I'm really excited for you. That's
Thank
gonna
you.
be a tremendous journey. That's
Yeah.
really cool. So, I love, but one of the things that sticks out about your story is I love that you were a skeptic just like I was. Because I think somebody gave me samples and they sat in my cupboard for a few months, you know, and I think I eventually gave them away, but so I love that I wasn't the only one, and I'm so grateful that you were able to feel relief for all the issues you had going on, and um, I'm so grateful that you know you're able to pass that on to your son and now to a future child,
Yeah.
and to share, and you were able to reach some goals that weren't you know in the picture
Yeah.
early on,
Well,
and
the thing is, it's not like, you know, this is something that I only offer to people that are sick, right? We are
right,
all missing something. I mean, we all live so fast. Everything is just so demanding of our time. We're on the go, and we have gaps in ourselves. I mean, we have nutritional gaps, and it's not
right,
our fault, if you will. You know, it's we're just so busy. And so I'm like, gosh, if we don't have time to make all these perfect meals, I've got to find a way to put the right things in my child's body and in our body. And it just so happened that when I put the right things in, you know, good things happened. And the weird thing is, I was eating right. We were eating
mm-hmm.
right. We thought, you know, we were doing all the stuff
Yeah,
we should do, making well-rounded food, having plenty of fruits and veggies. And you don't know me personally, except for this live yet, but I mean,
right,
we have our fun. You know, I try to do like 80% good stuff, 20% fun.
yep,
We have
it's all
garbage
about
time
balance,
to
it's all
time. We
about
got to
balance,
live, you know, but yeah, it's really cool to have solutions when, you know, we're just sometimes we feel like there are none, but there really are out there.
for sure. Oh, I love that, and I love the way you think, and I love what you're saying about personal growth too, because I don't think I've ever, as since joining this team, I've never read this many books,
Me
except
neither. It's funny when
I
I
don't
was in
have time to read
college.
books.
When I was in college, I was like, oh my gosh, I just have to read this dumb book to pass the test, right? So it was
Right.
reading for like out of necessity to get a grade. And so I actually worked at a law firm for 12 years prior to moving here and everything. And I would read basically at work because I'm reading documents and things like that. And to even think about reading a book, I'm like, there is no way I'm putting the time in to read a book. Well,
Right.
one of the first events that I participated in once I started, you know, feeling better, one of the first DJ events I participated in was a huge event with John Maxwell. And I think I was only like 3 weeks into, I'll say the business side, right? And
Yeah.
oh my goodness, being there and all of that energy and all these people that want to grow and John sharing about, you know, the
Mm-hmm.
laws of this, that, and the other on how to improve your life and being intentional. And I was just sucking it up. And
Right.
I have read so many books. I laugh because I'm like, we had probably 2 books in our house before Zjia.
Yeah.
And now I have like, 5 stacks that would be like my height, which is kind of short, but you know. But I just remember that weekend and I thought, gosh, if all I have to do is read some books to grow and then be around people in this team and other leaders that you are introduced to because of this team, then I thought, heck yeah, let's do it,
Let's do it. Can you imagine if we started reading these when we were in college? Like, I can't even imagine how
That's
different
true.
things might have been
Well,
if I was
what's really neat is we know this now, right? And so as
right,
parents, we're able to start instilling these values and these thoughts and beliefs and dreams in our children.
right.
So have you read Brian Tracy's Eat That Frog yet?
Yes.
Isn't that
I
the
think
best?
I've read it twice now, actually.
I have too. I think I'm on time 3, but my son has taken away some of those things. But obviously, the bigger piece is do the thing that you don't want to do first, get it out of
First.
the way. And so I'll literally hear him say sometimes, like he's about to, fold his laundry, and I'll hear him say, eat the frog," like he's whispering it to himself.
Done. Get it done.
Get it done. So now what's happening
Oh,
is we're created because of, I mean, this is hard to grasp, but because I finally said yes to drinking this little pack, like all these things have happened. So I look at the future, all of us on the team and all of us that really are taking in this personal development, we have all of these things that we can do and teach our children, and they're going to be the future. So we are literally impacting the world, if you will,
we are.
and that's the coolest part, is not necessarily what we are doing today, but to see that compound effect of how it's going to be later on with these people and these children that we're sharing with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Jill, thank you so much for sharing with us today. I have absolutely loved our conversation. I hope others who have tuned in are enjoying it just as much and take away something uh, from your inspiration. So thank you so much. Thank you for sharing. And I can't wait to talk to you some more about just personal development, this team, these products, and just life in general, because you look like somebody I want to hang out with
Well,
when
you
I'm
have
down
good
in
hair.
Florida.
My
What's
hair
that?
used to be like yours, and I'm like, now I want to cut my hair again. Like, your hair is so spunky. I love it.
Oh, well, thank you, dear. I know I see your hair and I'm like, ooh, that's my girl.
Mine's
Like,
growing out, and I loved it short, but I will tell you, because of Zjia and our awesome shampoo and things like that, my hair is growing crazy fast. But because I'm 41, it's growing crazy fast gray. So I'm like,
oh,
when it's super short, I don't want to have to get it done 8 bazillion times a year,
right.
with color. So
To
I'm just letting it
maintain
grow.
that color. Well, that's a good reason to grow it out, but it's growing out beautifully. So I couldn't grow it out that way. So super jelly there. But thank you, Jill. Thank you so much to everybody who is tuning in to check this out. And hopefully it helps somebody and just brings a smile. So
Yeah.
thank you guys. And hey, Jill, enjoy your weekend and way to go on your first Facebook Live.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It was fun.
Yeah.
You have a good weekend too.
All
Let's
right,
do it,
dear.
let's do it again sometime.
For sure.
All
Absolutely.
right.
All right. Take care.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye. And thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Bye. Oh, sorry.